Hello and welcome back to my channel, Checks Captures Threats. Today's video is going to be episode 13 of Gambits Galore, and it's another Duras Gambit. I'm already going to say it now, as you can see by the title, and it wasn't the worst game at all. There was definitely a load of mistakes, and you'll see one where I could have easily won a piece if I just used the calculation that I prepared and then completely forgot about. So, obviously, Duras Gambit, they always say it's a blunder straight away because you're just giving up a pawn. But we obviously have to play this knight f6 move. And now this move is played actually rather a lot, weirdly enough. And it kind of gets rid of their advantage already after d5 being, in my opinion, a very nice move. As obviously you're getting the bishop out. And this pawn is very nice to get out as well. And obviously, normally you would have a pawn here and it stops this. Now they don't like this. They like you just capturing straight away. I feel like this puts a little bit more pressure on. So I didn't really like it. And again, it's going to be the same thing here. About I could have pushed that, actually could have been maybe even a fork nearly, but I didn't really like that. Would have probably been much better as it would led to this, but you're actually not up by a piece, should I say, because you've lost so many pawns, as we're actually one piece up for 3 pawns, so we are dead even in material technically. So I decided to play the move e6 as per usual. It does lose again a lot. Realistically, in this position, I should just be like this. I shouldn't have been up, down. But this is the normal Duras sort of thing. This move is very weird. And now we get bishop e7. I'm doing my normal stuff. I know how to play this sort of thing. You don't normally take straight away, as normally this is developed. But as you see, he's not made a great job of this. And this is where this video will also show how to punish people that don't develop quickly enough. And you see, now I push ball maybe a bit too late. Maybe I should have done that. As a piece is better than 3 pawns, realistically. I now take the first pawn. Does put me in a pin, not the worst at all. And I'll take the second pawn. And now I'm only 1 point down. He gets bishop out, obviously going to be casting next go. And I make the move queen to d5. Now I looked at this. As soon as I played it, I didn't actually like it. It just doesn't do anything really right now. It literally, I mean, I'm attacking a few pieces, but they're all protected. And this is where now I have to come up with a plan. And I'm seeing that I'm attacking this, and this is a pin here. So if I can get my bishop here, now this is where he plays the blunder, h3. And I planned it all out. Take, take, take. I'm a piece up. Or, yes, piece for like 1 pawn. But, as I was literally thinking about it, I by accident looked away for a few seconds, and when I look back, I just played the wrong move. I completely forgot my plans, and that's why you've always got to stay focused on the game. If you take any lapse in concentration, then you're going to completely make mistakes like this, and that's a huge miss for me. That was being 3 points up to being still about 2 points down from the beginning of this game. Now, it's not the worst. I still have other ideas, but it's definitely not the best. And I actually make a sacrifice straight after, just as my only hope. And he does actually play this move. Now, I can see why he didn't take, and this isn't at all bad in my opinion still. As if he takes, this does look very dangerous. This pawn's going, probably, because a move like this, you have this coming down, and you're really bad positioning. You have to make the right moves. So, here, playing this is very understandable because he's trying to get this. So I actually just take the bishop here, that was now 3, and I gave this up. I'm actually now a point up. I make this knight move, obviously looking at this whole main 1 idea, but there is other stuff as well. He plays a check. I obviously go back this way. I can't play there because he'll just push. Now he plays the rook here. Makes sense because of this whole thing. He probably wants to keep this rook here. I've got no white coloured bishop. And now I make the move h6. They really didn't like this move. They really wanted me to play knight e5. As this, I didn't really want anything coming down here sort of thing. Getting it all onto the back rank. So, off this rook e4 move, which again, I'm very surprised why I keep saying needs a misses. I don't really like the term that chess.com use of a miss. I feel like they're still good moves. I feel like they're not, this isn't really a miss in my opinion. Because, there is other stuff you can do, sorry. And I play this move, obviously looking at some sort of discovered check later on. And this is where now he plays the wrong move. And I finally capitalise on a good idea. Push has to take, otherwise I'm just going to push again or take. And this is where I make the brilliant move. Bishop takes f2 check. And the reason for this is after, and now he should really take with the king here. He takes with the queen, which makes it completely losing. And it's actually, I don't even need the rook here. and it's knight takes h3 check. And as you can see, can't take, and we are forking the king queen, and we're also discovering this. So once the queen moves here, the king moves there, we could take the queen, attack here. He tries to come back down, but it's not enough. We play check there. Could have done that and won that, but instead we play checkmate, which is obviously better, and we win one of the scruffiest games ever. So a few things I want to go over here is the start, how I had it. Now realistically in this position, I really liked this idea. I don't get me wrong, I feel like I made a mistake here. I probably should have played that, but this position, if I was to show you how you'd normally play it, would probably be like this. Let's make, you're seeing this type of thing, and this, in my opinion, is very good for black and for white. I'll be honest, both sides have fighting chances. Queen c7 is still a great move in a position like this. Maybe not the best with these sort of knight moves, so maybe you have to play a move like this. I wouldn't ever play h6, as you've already lost probably the most key pawn with king protection. But this game realistically was to show you how, as you saw, they didn't really get their pieces out for a very long time, and once they did, I was already attacking. And obviously I can show you there, stay focused on the game. That is definitely a very important tip, and I think a very knowledgeable tip. And don't let your mind wander off to anything, and just keep your head up. You make mistakes. I was up and down this whole game. If you want to see, there's a chart here that is just up and down in a load of places here, but you saw how I was actually losing since at move 16, and it only took about 6 moves and I was already about 3 points up again. So it just takes a little bit of time just to recuperate and get these sort of positions. And you see I might have been losing again, but I was able to keep my head up, and I was able to get quite a nice comeback and the Duras. And obviously the gambit is not the best gambit in my opinion. There's very many ways you can counter this. As after take, you're obviously obliged to play this, and the reason for that is if you play something like this, we obviously get this queen check. So that's why it always kind of limits you to these sort of positions. But this is where, again, I'm very weird why chess.com call these mistakes and misses. I feel like they're, especially at the level we're playing at, it's not, grandmaster level moves, don't get me wrong, but it's not also, they're not mistakes in my opinion. Some things might be, which is reasonable, and again, I wouldn't call this a miss, as I still think this is a very good move. This is more or less what you actually are supposed to play instead of capturing, but again, there might be different ways. Maybe I played it the wrong way around instead, or something like that. But obviously, again, wasn't one of my finest games, and you will not see really very, very good games in the gambits that I'm playing, because I'm really just I'm giving away so much advantage at the start. It's a very difficult opening to go through and get something out of it. So you've always got to capitalise on that. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. So thank you, and bye bye.